I felt bad for the war god in this part because honestly, how the Scubas described the main character's true love kind of would also pass off as him, not just as the male lead, but as him too. Like, all the check marks fit him too, and I felt just bad for him because, he was trying to talk to the main character about it, and the main character ends up throwing him into the water because, he's being very maniac about it, and I just felt bad for him because, I kind of shipped them, and it's just terrible. I love how the male lead's parents were the reverse stereotypes, and honestly, they deserved better. You could tell from this little arc part, this chapter, that they very much loved each other, that he was the sweet, naive maiden, and she was the cold, collective one of the relationship, but you can tell that they loved each other and they cared for each other, especially what she did for their child, and it's just sad. Am I the only one that feels bad for the Dr. Peaklord in this chapter and in the rest of the series? Because honestly, he was treated horribly by the male lead. Like, he was captured by the male lead, he was imprisoned by the male lead to keep the main character's body intact. Like, yes, the male lead did most of the work, but he was still there to help the male lead keep the body intact. And the male lead treated him horribly. Like, out of everyone, he's the one who has all rights to despise the male lead for how the male lead treated him. Like, dude, I felt so bad. There's two things I want to talk about this one. The first one is the fact when, the main character, instead of going to his sack or staying at the male lead's palace, he decides to run off to a town in the human realm, and there he gets a job that, he gets, which honestly surprised me because he doesn't actually do his actual job. Like, either the male lead does it or any of the other disciples does his job, unless he has to do his job, but the rest of the time he doesn't. So he got a job. Like, I was full in shock that he got a job because he was bored. Like, he was literally bored in that town. He got a job. But, like, what? And then, when he realized the male lead was getting jealous because some ladies wanted to introduce him to other ladies, he got so up. Like, he ran off. He abandoned his job. I'm like, you can't abandon your job. Honey, you just can't. At least give them a warning. Tell them, hey, I can't work here anymore. You can't just up and leave. I hope that when he returned to his, peak, that he went and told them, hey, I can't continue my job, like sent a letter or something. Like, he left these people with no notice. Another thing I want to talk about was the fact that it was hilarious that impreg was brought up. And I'm like, dude, like, they thought they joked and teased the main character that the male lead was his child, him and the male lead's child. Like, they teased him over it. And I'm like, dude, that's a sign that impreg probably does exist. Or somewhere in the demon relatives exist. Like, I'd be a little worried for you. You might be pregnant sooner or later. So the first demon that the main character and the male lead fought together back when the male lead was a disciple, right after the main character entered this world, they go back to that place and they re-meet that demon. And that demon, when she discovers what kind of relationship the main character and male lead has and who they are, she goes, oof. You're going to sooner or later be punished for this. Having a relationship with your student? You're going to be punished for that. And, because she is so pleased that her killers are sooner or later going to be punished for their relationship, she's able to move on. She can go to the afterlife with no, her feelings. She's pleased because she knows the persons who, harmed her are going to get punished for it. She's not wrong, because if they were in a modern era, our main character would very much be given side eyes. He might not be hated upon and ridiculed or gone to prison, but he would definitely get a bunch of side eyes from people. He might not have had a relationship with the male lead until after the male lead was not anymore his student, but side eyes. People don't like when someone gets with their student, even if that student isn't anymore their student. I felt bad for Airplane in this arc because honestly, having to deal with those two and ask them questions that he doesn't want to ask them because of the system, and then him still getting punished by the system because, the main character refused to answer the last question correctly. Airplane's the one who gets punished for it. But having to deal with these two and ask them inappropriate questions or questions about their relationship when the male lead was rude as hell during this whole thing. I thought he'd take this opportunity to brag about his husband, which he kind of brags, but he's just really rude about it. He's just really hateful about it. Like, I was sitting there feeling super bad for him, and the main character always kind of getting a little annoyed with this whole thing too, not answering. Because like sometimes he would just go pass and not answer, and because he was also kind of rude about this too. Like, he was highly embarrassed, which is understandable because some of these questions were not appropriate, but they both were kind of rude. And Airplane's like, please just answer the question so I don't get punished for this. And he's also sitting there going, I can't deal with this. Please, I can't deal with this dog food. It's not even good dog food. And also the fact that he honestly now realizes the main character's relationship with the male lead seems to be annoying. Like, to be in a relationship with the male lead would be terrible because honestly the male lead seems to be a pest. He throws tantrums when things don't go his way. He gets annoyed and upset easily. He's prone to jealousy. Like, honestly, it would not be great. He compares the relationship to a kindergartner throwing a tantrum at the teacher, which honestly, he's not wrong. That is literally the relationship. I also want to talk about how cute this is. This is a little design inside the flap that I noticed comes in the last books of the series. I don't know if they will continue doing this, but at least this is with, Scum Saving System, Demonic Convention. They also have the same thing in their little flaps, and this is this one. It's super cute. Look how he's waving.